this is one of your constituents, and she has a very quick question she wanted me to pose. Do you mind?
Fire away.
Here we go.
Fire away.
Stacy, can you say really quickly what you saw?
Yes, on the evening of March 13th, I was driving towards Phoenix near the Sackton exit, and I saw 3 lights at the very beginning, followed by 2 on each edge of a massive triangle come off the Sackton Mountains at about 2,500 feet, proceeded to come straight in front of us over I-10 and over my car. The size of this object was large enough that if I were to have opened a newspaper and laid on my back, I still would not have been able to block out the entire object. It was a massive black object traveling very slow without any noise over I-10 on the evening of March 13th, right around 8:30. Is this still a matter of ridicule to him after he came out on TV with his alien, making us all look a little foolish? We've all remained unwavering on our descriptions. A lot of evidence has been provided since then, and I'm wondering if he still feels this is a matter of ridicule or if he has taken a new stance on this.
Excellent. Well, Stacy, thank you.
Well, that's a good question. And of course, as I said earlier, I never felt that the overall situation was a matter of ridicule. We certainly took advantage of it. No question about that. But no, I don't consider it a matter of ridicule at all. I think it was a very, I think it was a legitimate occurrence of unknown origin craft of some sort, and who knows where it came from. Inexplicable, and probably one of the major sightings in modern history in the country, because a lot of people saw it in Maricopa County, and I saw it too. So I used to work, when I was first in the Air Force, I worked at Luke in the Sage Center there in NORAD. And so something like that would go up the chain of command immediately to NORAD in Colorado and then go to the Pentagon. So certainly the military chain of command knew exactly what was going on. Now, whether they immediately transmitted it to the White House or not, I don't know, but certainly it went up the chain immediately and does in the Pentagon to the Joint Chiefs, to whoever's on duty. So they must have a record of it, but whether the president was informed, I don't know. I imagine if the vehicle had landed, that the president would have he would have been notified and activated and
taking a ride.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'd hitch a ride. So it's hard to know what really happened. But it's been sort of a stone wall on the military side. And my Department of Public Safety looked into it too, and they didn't get any answers. So. Okay,
well, the last thing I guess I would ask you one more time, if you wouldn't mind, if you could be on television for world television for 15 seconds to describe what took place, what would you say?
I would say that at that time in over Phoenix, we all experienced a very exciting sighting of some kind of a craft of unknown origin. Nobody's ever been able to explain it, and that it was, most of us feel that it was definitely, of alien origin, enormous, inexplicable, and it was really a thrilling event. I know it made a lot of converts, and the lady that asked that question, I mean, she saw it come over, I think, the Sackatone Mountains is what she was saying, and and you can tell the earnestness in her voice, how earnest she was, that it was she really had quite an experience. So I guess we're part of the UFO trail. We we kind of fit the pattern here, and I think that's wonderful.
Were you at all surprised? I mean, being governor of the state, where this is all going on, were you surprised at how little information you were able to get out of them?
Yes. Yeah, I really was, yeah. I mean, we really did make a bunch of calls, and I talked to the general at the National Guard, and I talked to the guy at the command. I wish I could remember the name of the commanding officer at Luke Air Force Base at the time. We called the Pentagon, or the general from my guard called the Pentagon. I mean, I saw it, and I thought, oh, this is really interesting, and let's try to get to the bottom of it. So. Did
the guy at the Pentagon, when you spoke with the general at the Pentagon, did he know about this already, or
Well, the general in charge of our guard, I believe, talked to the Pentagon, his person at the Pentagon, and I think that they knew that there had been sightings, as I remember it, but they weren't talking about it.
Whose idea was it to come out and say, "Hey guys, it was military flare activity"? Whose idea was that?
I don't know where that came from. But that was total bunk. Those I've seen high altitude flares before. I mean, that wasn't. They weren't flares. I mean, you had consistent positions of light. You had same intensities. It moved the same way. I mean, no flares had the ability to move and hold their position in the sky and then move and hold their position in the sky the way those that you just can't. So they weren't flares.
If you had to describe what happened in a paragraph while you were governor on the evening of March 1997, succinctly, what would you say?
I would say that there was a very mysterious event that happened over, not just over Phoenix, but over Maricopa County. Something we'd never seen before, exceptionally bright lights up in the sky that didn't conform to anything that we had ever known before. And it has never been explained. And when I was in office, I tried to get explanations. Nobody had an explanation. People just sort of said, well, we just don't know what it is. But it was it moved. It stayed. The lights were all symmetrically positioned, and it moved. And I'd say that we probably had our first major encounter with the unknown over Maricopa County at that time. It was really thrilling. I mean, but I was never fearful about it. I figure if they're smart enough and capable enough to to come into our airspace with the technology that they have, if they wanted to do us in, they could have done us in a long time ago. So I'm not fearful of this.